maybe you've already sunk dozens of hours into Dark Souls 2 and you're a huge fan of the Souls series. But what about those of you who've never taken the plunge into the infamously tricky RPG series and want to know what all the fuss is about? Well, today's Gist episode is for you, so you can figure out why Dark Souls 2 matters just so damn much. It was a few years ago when I decided to crack into Demon's Souls. It seemed like a good idea merely because I was fascinated by the game concept and buzz, but it didn't take long till I had my ass handed to me. Nevertheless, while Dark Souls is hard, it's a huge mistake to assume that that's all that the game offers, because in a lot of ways it's influenced not only the action RPG genre, but the modern video game medium. This is a factor you guys brought up adamantly after my Gist episode on games that are harder than Dark Souls. For the outsider, difficulty is to Dark Souls what butter is to bread, but it's the way that the developer From Software manipulates and leverages this feature which makes the series so awesome. An obvious reason why the game is so important is that it's represented the rebirth of challenge in gaming. Dark Souls is certainly not the only hard game on the market, or the only one that's worth throwing your money at, but it deserves recognition for going against the trend of steadily dumbing down AAA games for years. That's a trend I discussed with devs Cliffy B and the guys who made Super Meat Boy a while back.
The latest Diablo, its downfall, not only was difficulty, which was a complete and utter breeze, it was mind-numbingly dull because of how easy it was.
When a game is truly challenging to master, your attachment to it becomes more meaningful. The thrill of threat is a beautiful thing that harks back to pretty much every good horror game. Amnesia and early Resident Evil games work so well because there's a lot more at stake every time you encounter an enemy.
Oh shit!
What? Do you think it sees you?
I don't know! Do you think it sees me?
Go up!
Man, Pig, let's talk about this! You're being rash!
Dark Souls is successful in the same way, because even though losing a battle will set you back significantly, the sense of achievement when you succeed is so much greater. Dark Souls may be bringing back the enjoyment over working for your victories, but it's in the first 5 in-game minutes that you get a feeling for one of the other really great features: the absence of an overbearing tutorial and a lack of direction. The Souls series wants you to explore and figure things out for yourself. Like retro games, they want you to fail and learn. And you really will fail if you're hoping that this will be like other action games which mostly hold your hand, because Dark Souls would prefer to push you in the dirt. Honestly though, if it treated you any different, you wouldn't learn the skills you need to get through the game. Because classic tutorial and suggestive orientating prompts are stripped, the world feels more immersive, and the victory in discovering tucked away areas is well and truly your own. The lack of any clear direction is what I loved and hated most about The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, but it's a great choice in a game like this, and one which a lot of devs would shy away from in fear of alienating gamers. Ask anybody what's so great about Dark Souls and I promise they'll pretty much all tell you one very simple thing: the brutal but completely rewarding combat. The best thing about games with seriously refined combat systems, particularly action-based ones, is that you're punished for making mistakes. That means when you get dealt a huge blow, it's because you screwed up that dodge or took an uncalculated risk, not because the gameplay's flawed or something glitched out. Dark Souls prevails at tactical and strategic combat, which require players to learn their enemies, leverage their own strengths, and execute everything in a way that suits the level design. The name of the game here is challenge, and the challenge incorporated into every element of Dark Souls creates a substance that breezier games will never have. Difficulty gives enemy encounters and in-game realms significance and makes them memorable. Sure, it might be because you died 20 times in one area, but it'll also be because the gameplay is designed to force you to learn a boss's movement and combat inclinations, subsequently committing that to memory to succeed. Dark Souls is daring to be different and daring to be better. Instead of alienating gamers in the process, it's found a serious following. Hopefully that'll prove to other devs that this kind of game can and will succeed. Last week I talked to you guys about how Diablo 3 is now totally worth it again since Reaper of Souls has come out, and you had an awful lot to say about it. A bunch of you are still pretty upset that there's no offline mode, and while others reckon the loot improvements are great, it just wasn't enough for you to get back into the game. Be sure to let me know in the comments or on my Twitter why you reckon Dark Souls is a winner or not, and I will see you again next week.